Hello, it's Bart from Nature Manufacture. This time I will show you how to import our new river auto material to your URP project. I will also make a quick overview over the tutorial scene and the features that we provide with this system. So, okay, let's maybe do everything step by step. First of all, we go to the package manager and import our pack to the engine. We choose Unity 6, but the import process is pretty the same for lower engine versions. Maybe some settings have different name. Okay, this package has package manager dependencies. What we have here? First of all, we click that we want to install them, and what dependencies it have? Basically mathematics. The mathematics package is a Unity package, and it's used for splines. In HTRP is by default in engine. In URP it depends what kind of project you create, but remember that you have to import this package as well, because without it you will get an errors. It's Unity standard package for calculations. So remember to have a mathematics package, and also remember, if you want to use FX particles, you have to have inside the project visual effects graph. In HTRP it's by default in engine. At URP you have to import it manually. Without this you will simply don't have a particles which are built at FX, which is much faster than Unity particle system. So yeah, just remember to have these two packages in the project. Okay, as we have these two packages in the project, we have to go to our river auto material folder and import URP support pack. If you use Unity Engine 6, remember you import this package. If you have a lower engine version, use lower URP support pack. Basically, when you download the package from the asset store, if you do this by actual engine version, asset store will provide proper files where we place proper support packs for HC or URP. So let's import URP support pack. This package contains shaders, materials, and particles which are only for URP or HTRP. So you get, and also demo scenes. So you get URP and HTRP version of the package out of the box. Okay, so let's go to the demo scene. And what we have here, let it compile. Let's give it a second. What we have to set up more. You may notice that we have decals here, but they are invisible. And if you will click, you will see that you have to add this feature. You could do this in PC renderer, or it's called high fidelity file in lower engine version. Basically, if you go to the settings, you will find at every URP version you will find the PC renderer or PC ERP asset or high fidelity renderer or high fidelity asset, right? And what we do here, first of all, let's close this. We add decal. Let's maybe set up it to 300 meters because we don't need more distance, bigger distance for decals, and we have a working decals. They basically have high smoothness, so they look like a wet shoreline. Okay, it's still compiling, so what next? Let's go to the renderer and let's let's set up few things more. To RP asset. Remember to have depth texture and opaque texture turned on, because without these two options, at URP at Unity 6, it's by default turned on, but for lower URP version, you have to check this manually. Without this two, you don't have a distortion effect on the water, or water will simply do not render at all at play mode. So both these checkbox have to be turned on. You have the same options on the camera. The demo scene without these values, but you could use render asset settings as well. So yeah, you have to remember that you have these two options turned on to simply render properly the water. Okay, so we import our pack to the project, and what we have here, first of all, we have a water, the sea simulation, and yeah, it looks pretty well. It's our latest feature which we provide to the river out material. Basically, waves just grow when they are closer to the shoreline, and they are affected by any collider or any terrain under the sea. So we have waves that grow when they are close to the shoreline, and they fall on the shoreline. These waves are masked by they have a direction from the wind, but islands or colliders mask them. So, for example, these waves will not appear directly after the island, but they appear again in a distance from the island. And around the island or any shape that we have at our shoreline, we have polar waves, which simply highlight the shoreline, right? Yeah. We have a few materials for the sea, more or less with bigger or lower waves. Let's maybe use stormy one. Quickly generate polygon. Basically, the thing is that this polygon get density only when we are close to the water. So it's tesselled by a distance. So in fact, we have only few polygons on the lake, which, because it's still our lake object, only few polygons for the lake, and the rest is tessellated by CPU or GPU. Yeah. Now we have bigger waves now. What we have here? Yeah, it looks nice. What else we add to our system? We have a fence system, so you are able to regenerate and change cliff just out of the box. This fence system also supports wetness, so if I will change the height of the object and it touch our spline or river or sea or lake object, if prefab have proper scripts, it become wet. And of course, proper material. It has to use our material, any our shader basically, because we have a huge amount of different shaders in our other assets as well. But any nature manufacturer, top cover or any other shader support wetness. We have a wetness settings here. And if you will place on a prefab our mesh coloring script, it will simply, if object will simply collide with any our spline, lake, water object, it will get vertex color, wetness out of the box. Okay, so we have a fence with automatic wetness. We added some example for the fence, for example, walls. If you want to generate them on real time, you have an option for that. If you want to just click generate every time, you could use without this option. So beside that, we give you cliffs, walls. You have a pipes also as an example. Now regenerate them. You could now get points from the order. If you click auto generate, it will refer automatically. Okay, so that's about the fence system, which we provide as a new feature for River Auto Material. What we have more? Like always, we have system materials with automatic waterfalls for rivers, right? At this time, we provide some more features for manual and automatic painting. For example, you could, first of all, you could add noise to your river, and this noise is basically by slope. You have a curve of the slope and how much noise you place on the river. So on the flat river we put low amount of noise, while on the big slope we have a big noise. But when waters just vertically go down by just straight down, there is no noise, because there is no, probably with such angle there is no collision that will give you noise, like rocks or anything that could generate noise on the water. So yeah, you have a nice noise effect. Of course, you could paint the height of the river in every place, and after you regenerate, you get waterfalls. So you have a huge control over the river now, not only by flow map, not only by vertex color, right? So not only by these regular features that you have before to paint waterfall effect, but also by you have a height marker. We give you additional example in your river auto material. It's related to paths and roads. Like always, you have mesh curve, which you generate shape of the road, but now if you have a painting, you have vertex color painting, so you could paint vertex color by slope. Here's the slope curve. And why? First of all, if we are snapping our mesh to the terrain, we take normals from the terrain, and now if we take normals from terrain, we pass slope information to vertex color, and vertex color will paint, for example, second or third layer on the road. So for example, if we have a slope, we get nice rocks on the road out of the box. So that's a cool feature. Automatic vertex color painting gives you huge control over the objects, that the splines, right? And you could now use vertex colors automatically. So that's about the splines. Then the new spectacular feature is our waterfall, which is automatic. Basically, you place points on the lake or river surface at the end, or just somewhere, just if you want to just somewhere place the waterfall. And it's physically accurate. I mean, if you will rotate, move points, water detect collision, and use all these features like basic strength of the water. I mean, the speed of the water, how it bounce from the collision, and system calculate and detect collision and gives proper waterfall out of the box, right? Let's see. And it's automatic, so you could just with control you could add points like always. It is also waterfall object. And how deep the system is, this is the example. You could see that we just bounce water a few times. Right, you have a full control over. If you will increase the strength, you will see that waterfall behaves differently. You could also increase the bounce power and do some lab options. So yeah, now you have option really to create spectacular waterfalls, and they are automatic. Even if we look at this floating island, basically it's a lake shape with waterfall around and with loop options. So you could create fountains now just with few points. You generate waterfall on the fountain border. So yeah, this waterfall, it's a really powerful tool. It's easy in use. We prepared profiles for them. In lake system, we rebuild some materials so they look much more natural. Also add the vertex color painting by distance from the border. What basically it gives. If we have for example, swamp right there, we have a different effects on different vertex color. We have a basic mix on black color, and by R channel or G channel or B channel, we add some effects to the water, like we just spread